CJ Amos.
I think he saw Rocco there and didn't want to keep
again.
going.
Thought again. Smart move. Kurt Sowick, kick out 3. He likes the bottom of the net, stretching Rocco and telling him, you got to come out and guard me, big fella. He's got a matchup like you wouldn't believe today. Going to work early. It's Kalen Sales. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. (3-2). Wizards trail. Sales can't make the first. Joining us later on the cast, we're going to have special guest and coaching extraordinaire, staff member for Basketball Queensland,
Jamie Petty.
Jamie Petty, high performance coach, obviously formerly part of Basketball South Australia, worked with the Adelaide 36ers for a while, recently announced as the NBL 1 North men's head coach for the Northside Wizards. So we're going to ask him to wear his BQ shirt as we see CJ Amos left wide open. He's fouled shooting a 3 ball, and that's an ill-advised foul early in the shot clock and early on defense. As we see Julius Wodzinski make a silly decision. CJ doesn't get the first. Des, these two teams know each other pretty well. They've obviously played across the course of the SQJBC for the viewers at home, the Southern Queensland Junior Basketball Competition. But obviously, as we spoke about, number of key outs for both teams. Rocco having been down at the Australian Institutes of Sports Centre of Excellence, Basketball Australia's Centre of Excellence down in Canberra. And for the Spartans, they've had some outs with the likes of Mason Honeyman and Jake Miles Renzi being out. Mason joining again. So it's a bit of a different lineup to what they would have seen during the SQJBC tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that kind of brings a little bit of excitement. I think it's good in both ways. Maybe the Wizards are still trying to kind of figure out how they play together, having such key outs. But you know, I think obviously we've seen them be quite successful throughout this entire tournament. So they're obviously doing a great job.
Julius Wodzinski gets to the line, to the rim, with using the on-ball from Rocco. Kurt making the decision not to help off as we see Brodie Blaser turn the corner and get a nice floater to go. Spartans lead early, 7-4. Wodzinski again. Sails. Goes baseline. Keeps the dribble alive. Kick out 3. Off the back of the iron there. Blaser. Deep penetration again on that right hand. Good early penetration from Aleknovic. Kicked it around and they find Blaser slashing to the rim for the easy 2. 9-4 Spartans. Dribble handoff. Rocco goes to work against Kurt. Tries to body him down low. Can't get it. Gets the offensive rebound. Put back is easy. When you're 7 foot tall, Des, it's easy to put the ball up high and make sure you're a tree amongst men.
I mean, I wouldn't have the slightest clue what it feels like to be that tall, but...
I do, but it's on a 6 foot step ladder. As we see Blaser again with a nice Euro, goes around the world with the finish. Wizards are going to have to work out to stop him. Wodzinski, dribble handoff with Rocco again. This time, CJ Amos gets his hands on it. Gets the separation. He wants to dance with Rocco. Does enough. Kick out 3. Wide open look is nice. Really nice.
This Spartan side's really just come out absolutely blazing, knowing that people, you know, maybe are counting them out a little bit. They're showing them. They're taking it to them.
Good look inside to Rocco. Rocco tried to facilitate. Couldn't find Sales, cutting back door from the low block. Turnover, 14-6, and you're right, Des. Spartans asking the question of the Northside Wizards defense early by putting a whole lot of pressure on the paint. Dribble penetration, forcing Rocco to step up. Sales kicked it. We saw it, the viewers at home knew it, and he thought he got one away. Or actually, they've called it on Spartans first, so Wizards will have it back. Earlier game saw the Brisbane Capitals defeat the Gold Coast Rollers, so they'll sit and wait for the winner of this game to play in the final tomorrow. Sales drives, tries to wrap it around his back past Serwick, but Kurt does enough to get his hands on it. Seven seconds left on the shot clock. Kick out three to Sales.
Ooh.
Couldn't get it to go.
Almost got a little foul there, a little push on the land, so.
Blaser, dribble penetration, kick out to Siwek. He's hit one before. Make it, ooh, that would have lifted the roof. Here come the Wizards. They go inside to Rocco.
Oh, easy.
Nice dump down there from ahead, Cherry.
And I think that's what we haven't really seen so far, you know, in this first quarter. I mean, you have a 7-footer. Make sure you get it up there and use him.
Julius Wadzinski, courtesy of the steal there from Eli Vici. Brings this game back to a 4-point ball game. Spartans starting with the hot hand. CJ Amos, step through, is pretty. That's tough.
Had to get it up, nice and high in the air.
Nice and high, he made it look easy, but he knows how to play. Obviously younger brother of Mason Amos, who's played on the Philippine under-18 national team, so he knows how to play. They go inside again to Avicii. Kurt's doing a good job against Rocco, as we see Aleknovic get all the way to the rim and push in transition. Spartans, somewhat shell-shocking Wizards. Sales, Zakarski, Wadzinski. Early three is probably not the look that Coach Nick Roberts is looking for. Kick out three. Siwek to Rocco. He banks it in. He banks it in. I guarantee you he wasn't expecting that, and nor were we. But they needed it. 18 plays 13.
That's what I was going to say. They may not have wanted it, but they will take it.
Some tired legs on the floor. Zakarski walking. Waiting to see what his point guard wants. Good hands from Siwek. They throw it up. He read it well. Here come the Spartans. This is where they've been effective. Blaser, nice Euro, does enough. And he gets past Rahid Chowdhury, and he'll go to the line to shoot too. Blaser has been really effective as we see him again in transition. That lefty, unorthodox, hard to guard for any righties out there, anyone who's right-handed, because lefties play a little bit more off center and then get a little bit more forward on their left hand. And he did enough to get a nice finish, but he got hacked, and now he'll shoot two.
I think, you know, absolutely. But if we take it a step back and we look at that trans D, we had Northside just running backwards with the play, letting him get his feet in the paint, and that's what happens. They make you pay. You've got to step up early and stop that ball.
Blaser makes the first. Leading away for his Spartans team. 19 plays 13. Misses the second. Sales the rebound. LeBron Brooks checking into the game for the Wizards. As is Cesarago. Mason Honeyman against Brooks. Those two know each other really well, having played state teams together. This is a matchup we've talked about. Honeyman got his hands on it.
That's great aggression from Spartans, though, I think, to try and double down on Rocco there.
Yeah, they've got multiple bodies that they're sending at. Zeke Byrne gets the responsibility against Rocco now, with Kurt Serwick getting a sub. Offensive glass there from Avicii. It's too big.
Nice assist.
Honeyman streaking. He is quick.
Ooh.
Got a lot of contact. Byrne, the offensive glass. Kick out to Blaser. Goes to work against Cesarago. Oh, he's called for the foul. Samuel. Just didn't slide his feet there. And Blaser knew he got him on the hip. So he gets to the foul line again, makes the first. 20 plays 15. The speed of this game has been somewhat of two styles, Des. Obviously, Spartans looking to push as much as they can to take the length and the height of Rocco out of the game, but also to wear him down, whilst Northside looking to slow it down.
I think that's exactly it. Northside have to do that so they can try and play through Rocco and get him the ball, whereas if Spartans can get the ball down to their end and have him not there, that makes it 10 times easier for them to score.
And just like that, they go inside to Rocco. And he backs down Byrne. Too strong.
Ooh.
Early turnover. And bam! LeBron Brooks knows to find the big fella and reward him for running the floor. And just like that, it's a 2-point ball game.
Just on his tippy toes.
Tippy toes. Did he leave the floor?
Maybe a little tiny bit.
I'm a little bit jealous.
Oh, me too.
Honeyman kick out. Look to turn the corner there. Schiffer. Rocco's made one. He banked the earlier one. He tried to bank the second one. Tipped by Byrne.
All the hustle.
All the hustle, no the reward.
On the floor.
Cesarago goes straight at Byrne, the bigger defender. Knew that he was not going to move his feet as well as he did, but he's feeling it right now.
See, I think now we see Northside trying to give it back to Spartans, just the same way. They're kind of adjusted their style of play a little bit here.
Well, interesting to see that immediately making that adjustment. They've taken Rocco off the floor. As we see the nice drive here from Samuel at Byrne. But he felt that one, that's for sure. You've got to be willing to put your body on the line as a young player, especially when you're going against those bigger ones. Stoppage on the floor while we wipe up.
We really need some of the floor wiper kids. Any volunteers? Would be handy.
Thought that's what we had assistant coaches for. Big free throws here for the Wizards. Can't get the roll on the first.
Not on the second either.
Not on the second either. And one, surely. Mason Honeyman turns the corner and gets the friendly roll. Understanding there's no rim protection at the moment. Attacks the hip, gets on the hip of LeBron Brooks. Drew contact. Referees thought he was in the act of shooting. Converts the 3-point play. 23 plays 19. Sorry, 24 plays 19.
Ooh, trouble.
I think
Bit of a foul there.
they've called Schiffer for the foul first, but no need there to send the double team and foul him. Just wait, young fella. It's not 7'2" Rocco Zakarski in that post. Northside going real small at the moment. Offensive foul called on Sales for hooking. A little bit of luck goes a long way here for the Spartans, who started really fast and really frenetic, as we see Blaser with a big three, courtesy of Mason Honeyman.
See, I don't even think it's luck at this point. I think this is just a good team, and they've been playing well throughout this entire tournament, and I think, you know, they've got the momentum that they need, so potentially.
Foul on the floor. Again, a little bit of ill discipline there from Aleknovic, called for that foul. Ill discipline on the double team. They did a good job of putting pressure on Samuel here, but then just went through his body a little bit. Yeah. Loose ball foul. Missed free throw. Makes the second. 27 plays 20 last minute here of the first quarter. Southern District Spartans playing really fast, making the Wizards defense contain them, as we see Brodie Blaser get to the rim again. Deep penetration has been the flavour for the Spartans, and they've asked the question of the help line, split line defence of the Wizards in the man.
I think even so, more so now that Rocco's not on the court, they're not settling, they're going straight to the hoop.
Wizards almost lost it. Kick out three, no good. Multiple bodies.
Ooh.
That will be a block, and that will see Carter Walden travel 45 feet to shoot the bonus. It's probably a good thing for the Wizards, because I think Brodie Blaser was out in that corner.
Yeah, I think he made a good decision to stop the play early.
Can't make the first. Converts the second. Wizards with a chance for the last shot to bring it back within single digits. Step back three. That is good. You got to like that in front of the Wizards bench.
Beautiful shot.
At the end of the first quarter, the Northside Wizards trailing, surprisingly somewhat, Des, 30-23, and it's been all Spartans.
Yeah, it has. Spartans have come out, you know, in this game absolutely blazing. Some would say the underdogs. I think most people are thinking a Northside Caps final, but as you said before, Spartans are really asking the question. They're doing a great job penetrating. You know, they're just playing really well at the moment.
Yeah, and Wizards obviously with the big fellow and Rocco Zakarski, the 7-footer out of the Australian Institute of Sport Centre of Excellence, but obviously a Northside Wizards and formerly University of Sunshine Coast, Rip Junior as well. A shout out to the guys up there. I know Jay and Nathan Rouse, Jay McCracken and Nathan Rouse, who would have my head if I didn't make sure that we understood where Rocco came from.
Where he came
first. But obviously a really talented individual at 7 foot. But we haven't seen too much of him. When they've found him, you know, they've managed to be effective. But Spartans have done a really good job of sending double teams. We see here late on the double team, and all of a sudden he gets going. LeBron Brooks rewarding the big fella for running the floor. Got to get him going, but if they can play through him a little bit more offensively, it will mean that they're able to. Get a greater level of effectiveness on the offensive end. But right now, the Spartans are asking the question of the Northside Wizards defense, looking to penetrate against that man-to-man and the zone. So we'll see if a little bit of change from the initial scout here from Coach Nick Roberts. Bit more of extended zone pressure here from the Wizards, and they've gone with 4 guards and Rocco. Forces a tough decision.
I think that's a really smart move by Coach Nick Roberts, changing to that defense. It's going to make it so much harder for the Spartans to penetrate the paint.
Good patience.
See, I think here, you know, they just need to play good defense. There's no need to reach. They're literally going to run into a big, tall tower. So there's no point. Guide them in there and then let them get into trouble.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Des. They've got to close out, even though they're in a bit of a extended 2-3 zone and applying a little bit more pressure in the matchup. Things like that will go your way if you just be patient. And we see, don't know what Samuel Cesarago was looking at there, but got on the wrong foot and landed awkwardly as we see Spartans come down the floor and get an easy layup through Kurt Sewek.
But then I think there comes their other issue, is that they need to stop the ball. They need to turn around on D-Trans straight away, because that's where they get burned.
Looking inside of the big fella, Sewek will be called for the foul there. I think he got caught holding on to Rocco. Substitution for the Spartans. Honeyman has a seat. Whilst Laffin checks back in. Plays 25. Laffin, corner pocket 3. Can't get that to drop. Wizards playing through their point centre. Rocco Zakarski looking to settle. LeBron Brooks turns the corner, gets on the hip, and manages to get that to go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very privileged to introduce, and I get to meet him finally for the first time. Lachlan Nuttall's taken some time. But I'm going to ask you official title in a second, Jamie. But Jamie Petty, who's with Basketball Queensland, and more recently, we won't hold this against him because he's wearing his BQ shirt today. But I've had the privilege of knowing of this gentleman, and I know a number of people have highly recommended his coaching expertise and abilities. But Jamie Petty, who's with Basketball Queensland, formerly with the Adelaide 36ers, I know CJ speaks very highly of you, and I know that having you here in Queensland is a great asset and addition, but Obviously, you're wearing your BQ shirt today as opposed to your NBL 1 North men's Northside Wizards shirt. How have you found the 4 days?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. Pumped to be here, first of all. And I was just talking to Lachlan Nuttall about the standard of this tournament, the first one that I've been to in my role here as state performance coach, and awesome tournament. Great standard of basketball, boys and girls, really high level, great standard of coaching, refereeing. It really is a spectacle out here at the Gold Coast.
And obviously in your role, Jamie, you've been fortunate enough and you get the privilege of seeing kids from, you know, the top end, North Queensland, all the way down to the south, the Gold Coast, you know, New South Wales border. You know, the future's pretty bright. You know, we saw in the girls semi-final, Monique doing some work in the girls semi-final for Mackay. Obviously, there's talent littered all over the great state of Queensland. But you know, is it positive to see that, you know, there is growth across the board rather than just, you know, smatters, or, you know, in certain pockets, or is it really helpful that we're able to develop through our associations a number of really good talent, key talent?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something pretty unique to Queensland. I mean, to have a great lot of talent in the more populated areas, that's like really special what we have here, but you'll see that around the country. What is unique to Queensland, I think, is what you're talking about. You know, Monique and Mackay, a lot of talent in Townsville, Cairns. The Cairns girls team earlier, you know, played a really great style of basketball. So to have that is really unique. It's great that they get to play against each other here, not just against the kids in their own backyard. And I think that's something that maybe is underappreciated across the nation, is just the geographical scale of this state, the talent, you know, the great people working to develop these athletes on a regular basis. It really makes my job a lot easier, and we can see that now in the standard of play in front of us.
Absolutely. As we rejoin action here, ladies and gentlemen, your Southern District Spartans started pretty fast, but then all of a sudden the Wizards have come back somewhat in this quarter. 6:37 to go as they go inside to Rocco. He felt like he got hacked down low, and they've lobbed it up a couple of times to him. Sales, corner three. Can't get that to go. He is due. CJ Amos for Spartans will settle it. Someone forgot to close him out, and that is Corey Laffin, pump faking, getting all the way to the rim. Sorry, Connor Davidson, my apologies. Rocco with a big man's jam. Getting onto his favoured left hand and off the ball. I don't know what. It was Laffin on that last play, apologies. But Davidson had done something to rile him. And now the referees have said, hey, you're going to cut that out. But he's called for the unsportsmanlike. And Coach Nick Roberts quickly gets the hook and subs him out and just let the big fella calm down. But he's obviously fired up because this is not where they were predicted to be. We might see it here, or we're a little bit late, but might see it here. But off the ball, down the floor, Rocco goes after Davidson, and now Davidson will shoot the two, and then Spartans will have possession. Good
coaching from Nick Roberts there. You see experience of his level. Big fella gets a little bit hot under the collar, and get him out. Quick word to him, quick rest. He'll be back in this pretty soon, I reckon.
Yeah, young 16, 17-year-old men can lose their temper sometimes, and you want them to express it in the right way, obviously. But, you know, Rocco, to his credit, he'll be a pro about this, I'm sure, and I have no doubt that he understands the best way to beat teams that are trying to get under his skin is on the scoreboard when it really counts. Sewick, let's see what he can do with Rocco off the floor. CJ Amos step through. He's done that a few times. Laffin, he's gone and whacked another one. Dribble penetration from Spartans is proving a problem with and without Rocco on the floor, because it's opening up wide open shots for the shooters on the three-point line, as we see Sewick, the big fella, diving on the loose ball with the state coaches in the crowd. Aleknovic to Sewick. Laffin's just hit one. Makes a good decision. Sewick. Aleknovic recognises shot clock's going down. Finds Davidson wide open underneath the rim with the shot clock just about to expire.
Too easy that was.
That's a lot of experience for a bottom-age kid. Obviously, his father, having played several years at a high level, has made sure he understands to make good decisions. A little bit of water on the floor there. Chowdhury slipped, got it up, but fortunately for him and also the other Spartans player, I think it was Sewick who went down. No one was injured. Coach Nick Roberts was quick to advise the referees to slow the game and stop. Jamie, what's probably been the biggest thing that you've, over the last 4 days, that you've sort of enjoyed about, you know, as I said to Des before, the decision from Basketball Queensland to extend this to a 5-day tournament? You know, over the last couple of years with COVID, you know, kids coming back from injury or not being as active, but what's probably been the most exciting part or the biggest takeaway from the last 4 days for you?
The great thing for me is just seeing like the real style of play come across. All of these Queensland players are really talented offensively. They have a skills package that's pretty unique. That's not really something that we see across the country. Players that can play off a 1 foot, off balance, left hand, right hand, both sides of the rim. That's pretty unique. So to see, that level of offensive creativity and skills package that's pretty consistent, I think that that speaks to, you know, the ability of the coaches that are working with these kids on a regular basis.
And we see obviously more recently another Queensland talent getting picked up by the Centre of Excellence. I'm sure there's another Petrie in the wings of an older Petrie looking to make that jump shortly soon too. And I'm hearing rumours around the traps that a number of kids are getting either tapped on the shoulder or earmarked for future Centre of Excellence positions. But, you know, obviously losing them is one part, but there's obviously the benefit then that they're going to go on and get further development, live in a full-time basketball environment at the Centre of Excellence, or the AIS as more commonly known. But for you, obviously your job means that you get to, I suppose, work with the next tier, you know, and producing that. Is that sort of the approach that you, Luke McCann and Luke Maguire sort of have around, hey, we're trying to get these kids to the next level, but then we've got to develop the next level of talent?
Yeah, 100%. And we want kids to get to that level and strive to wear the green and gold. That's ultimately what it's about. You know, we've got COE coaches here right now scouting the talent in this game, in other games around, and I think, again, that speaks to the talent level here. And what we also have is a great depth. You know, if we lose players to the COE, we're bringing players into our state performance program, into our national performance program that are of the standard. At the moment, we have more great players available for spots than we have spots available for great players. So in a way, it actually helps us service more of the athletes that we have in our own backyard that are at the level.
Do you feel like it's a great thing to be able to see this amount of players getting offered, you know, these spots, and, you know, it really encourages those younger than them to try and move up the ranks and strive for this?
100%. And we see, like, they look up to those kids that are 1 or 2 years ahead of them. It also makes it accessible and real for them. You know, if Rocco's done it, well, maybe I can do it. You know, I'm playing at Northside, you know, in the same competition as him. It just makes it accessible and real for our athletes. So, yeah, it's really encouraging to see the amount of interest. And I know my phone blows up all the time about our juniors. Luke Cairns' phone blows up, Luke Maguire. We really are on the radar nationally, which is great to see.
I guess if you put your Wizards hat on right now, you know, because you've got one of them too.
Trying to get me in trouble, Des.
Yeah, I was going to say, your colleagues getting each other in trouble. I like it. I'm all here for the controversy.
Tell me about it. How do you think the boys are going now? And I mean, look, it's only the second quarter, but how do you think they can improve?
Yeah, I think they've probably just been, when you bring great players back into the fold, you know, obviously Rocco's played with these guys for, you know, his whole juniors, but they've played a season without him. So there's probably a little bit of an adjustment phase bringing him back in and figuring out how to play with each other. This Spartans team's a really good team, well coached. They play really hard. You see them diving on loose balls the whole time, you know, working their butt off defensively. So this is one of the closest games, you know, they've had, or one of only 2 times they've been down all week. So they've just got to learn to play with that. You know, again, Nick's got them playing well, playing smart. Shots aren't falling for them right now, but if they stick with it, I think this is going to be a pretty close one down the wire.
Now, for the viewers at home, and I know a good mate of mine, Steve Earlydef, who, and I know Marco Savic is here as part of that, and I'm sure Sean Carroll's floating around as well. how tough is it to pick a state team, Jamie? Like, I've coached them. I know you've coached them. You're a naturalised Queenslander now. Lachlan Nuttall's going to make sure we get you in a maroon shirt so we can send it to the Adelaide fans so they unfriend you now and all that kind of stuff. We did that to Sam Gruggan a few years ago, but he finally realised the light and came back and then went away and then came back again. But how hard is it to make a state team? Because obviously, there's two parts of coaching. There's one, you want to put the best team on the floor, but also putting the best talent on the floor is the hard part when you've got so much talent.
Yeah, it's really challenging. And we've sat down and we've had coaching meetings with all 4 of our state team staffs, selection meetings rather this week, multiple selection meetings. There's a lot of eyes that go onto watching these, a lot of intel that we try and gather, because as you allude to, it's not just about the most talent, it's about the collection of 10 athletes that are going to represent our state really well and gel cohesively and play the best together, positional balance, personality balance. There's a lot that goes into it, and as I said before, there's more great athletes available for selection than there is spots for great athletes. So, yeah, it's really tough, and this is a great opportunity for the athletes to show us, exactly what they can do. High pressure environment, tournament environment, a lot of eyes on this, so this certainly forms a great part of the selection.
Second quarter here in the Basketball Queensland Under-18 State Championships, second semi-final for the boys. The Northside Wizards, somewhat surprisingly to most of the punters out there, not that we promote gambling, but anyone who would have watched the tournament so far would have predicted that the Northside Wizards would have been up. But at the moment, the Southern District Spartans have other ideas. We see LeBron Brooks go hard at the rim and Rocco Zakarski cleaning up the glass. Finishing with authority makes it an 8-point ball game, trailing 47-39. Brodie Blaser has been on hot form as we see him driving down the lane, out of control. Siwick, Aleknovic, Laffin. Clock's running down and he travels, unfortunately. Something that Roberts was all in on that call, as we see Mason Honeyman check back in, as well as Zeke Byrne.
See the difference with the Rocco on the floor too. Siwick turning down a 3 that he would normally take. The extra length on that closeout just making it a little bit harder and forcing the shot clock violation, but no good look available.
Sales goes to work, looks inside. Blaser streaking up the floor. Honeyman looking for Byrne, couldn't get it to go, but it was deflected by Wizards. The Spartans will have the ball back with 21 seconds. Or I believe there may be less, 18 seconds. They go inside to Byrne. Kick back to Laffin. Give and go off the out-of-bounds play. Kick ahead, up the floor. Wizards looking to push.
That's a beautiful pass.
Tyson Warren ran the lane hard, called for the ball and finished really well. Honeyman lost the handle. Blaser ends up with it. A lot of contact. Gets in the paint again. Knows how to finish. Honeyman steals it. Blaser drives, goes right at LeBron Brooks. Can't get it to go. Rocco, another rebound. Here come the Wiz. LeBron Brooks, step up. Couldn't get that pull-up jumper to go. He won't miss too many of those. Spartans looking to operate out of the on ball through Honeyman. Draws second defender. Couldn't find Zeke Byrne though. And here comes Tyson Warren again. All the way to the rim and one. Did a good enough job to get on the hip. Finished with the right whilst being ridden out of bounds. We'll see that play again. Gets to his left. Gets Aleknovic on the hip. Finishes with the right whilst a little bit of hip contact. And he'll go to the line to shoot the bonus. Warren's an interesting athlete. Doesn't start for the Wizards, but comes off the bench and is a streaky, long, surprisingly quick young man, Jamie.
Very agile, great length, good on both sides of the ball, and yeah, as you allude to, moves in a shifty way. Pretty quick change of direction, good at getting to the rim just like that, and can finish with either hand. Very interesting prospect.
Not bad to have a guy like him coming off the bench when you've already got Sales and Julius Wadzinski starting for you as well, because you almost sub like for like. As we see the Wizards bring it back to a 5-point ball game last minute here of the second quarter. Honeyman looking to work the on ball. Knows he's going to draw contact from Rocco. Couldn't convince him to commit a foul. Chowdhury doesn't get the roll. Rebound Honeyman. Spartans looking to run. Aleknovic, taste it! Rocco's 10-foot almost wingspan, it feels like, telling Aleknovic, get your go-go gadget arms out, mate, because I'm going to make you eat leather today.
He went so far away from the hoop to try and get away from that too.
He would have had to shoot that from North Gold Coast to try and get that to go down. Aleknovic, we've had a little bit of a shot clock issue. See that replay. Aleknovic sells it. Rocco doesn't buy it. He says, I'm going to make you eat it.
And tells him about it too.
And for those of you at home, I believe we're still selling Molten basketballs. If you want to join Basketball Queensland's great partner, Molten, jump on their website. You can buy a basketball from Molten, the official game ball of Basketball Queensland. Rocco knows how to make you taste it.
That's a good slogan.
Yeah, I'm all over it.
Thing.
It's like I worked in marketing, Lachlan. 3-ball from Julius. Hits the bottom of the net. And just like that, it's a one-possession game. Last seconds, Spartans through Blaser. Gets the switch. Burn with it. Aleknovic, got to let it go. Sales makes him rush the shot. And a good stop to end the quarter and the half for the Wizards. After being down by double digits early in the first, they've brought it back to a 2-point ball game. Des.
Absolutely.
We were predicting an upset. We
I
were.
mean, yeah, we're predicting an upset, but it's a
We
close
were.
game. Anything could happen.
Well, we were. I mean, early we had said the Wizards were going to
Well,
come
I'm
out.
a little iffy now.
Now you jump.
I've lost a little confidence, but this is going to be. I think this is going to be a really good second half.
Jamie, what have you liked about the Wizards since it seems that it's coincided or correlated with you being up here in the chair that now the Wizards are back in the swing? So I don't know if that's fate,
speaking something
sheer
into
luck.
it.
Everyone is trying to get me in trouble here right now. But, no, I think they've just come on. They've tightened up the screws a little bit on defense. Again, Zakarski back in the paint, protecting that makes things a little bit easier. And it's got them out in transition, running, getting a few cheapies. So that certainly makes a difference. If you can start your offense with defense, it makes life a lot easier.
And for me, the Spartans, I think effectively in the first quarter, they did a really good job of being patient. Their penetration was good. They found each other on deep penetration where they got the guy with the ball deep early in the offense. On the charge circle, they were kicking it again and getting re-penetration and then kicking it again. Whereas I think that pressure on the scoreboard and again, one or two blocks or just loose plays from the offensive player has meant that they've rushed things a little bit as opposed to using the shot clock, letting the ball work and finding each other off first, second, and then third penetration. So it'll be interesting to see if Coach Aleknovic can settle his troops after the half. But the grand final is set to be decided in the next 20 minutes with the winner of this game to meet the unbeaten, undefeated, and I don't know the last time that happened where a team went all year, all season and won a state championship.
22-0.
22-0. That's a big feat.
It's a big feat.
So it's going to be interesting because if the two teams that we're seeing on the floor right now want a shot at it, they're going to need to make sure that at the end of this next 20 minutes, they walk away with all the cookies. But it's 49 plays 47. I just want to say a shout out to Jamie Petty. Jamie, thank you so much for all your work. Obviously, tremendous amount of things you've got on the plate at the moment. Good luck for this year with the NBL 1 job. Obviously, Wizards, you've got a little bit of, skin in the game here, but all the best with it. Obviously, we respect and appreciate all the work you're doing with the junior talent, but we look forward to seeing you in a Queensland shirt and continuing doing great work.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Second half now here from Gold Coast Sport and Leisure Centre, guys. Northside Wizards trailing 49-47.
Could have been a foul there.
Northside goes straight back into to Rocco. Using his right, can't get it to go. Defensive rebound. Mason Honeyman goes hard at the rim. Gets a lot of contact and he doesn't get one to go.
I don't mind that though. I think that's kind of what Spartans stopped doing. So to see them go back to that, I think.
Yeah, early penetration, but I think, you know, and I know Mason's looking for that dump down because he'd done the right thing in drawing Rocco, but then it's a matter of going, okay, let's keep the dribble alive and see where we go from there.
Exactly, exactly.
Once you've got Rocco engaged in the action, I think it creates multiple opportunities for other players around you as well. So as we see it dump down low
like
to Bo Coombs.
You'd really like to see them move the ball and get the defense moving and then attack.
Absolutely, absolutely. Brodie Blaser, who's been on fire, gets the friendly roll. He's been a spark plug for this Spartans offense all game and all tournament. Zakarski turns it over. Steele Laffin. Early penetration blocked by Zakarski. Rebound Blaser. Honeyman goes straight at Julius. Gets a whole lot of contact and finishes. Looks at the referee and says, where is the foul? And just like that, the Spartans have extended it to a 4-point ball game. A little bit of defense goes a long way, Des.
That it does. Spoken like a true coach.
Sales dumps down to Coombs, gets the nice finish high off the glass.
Beautiful, cheeky little pass there.
Over the shoulder, I think he was emulating a former Wizard or a Wizard junior as well. Mitch McCarron gives you a nice over the shoulder pass. I'm sure he's at home watching if he hasn't got NBL commitments tonight. Nice dump down inside to Julius Wodzinski, and just like that, we've got a tied ball game. Spartans defense starting to open up some holes. Blaser goes straight at Chowdhury.
He is just working for this side. Absolutely, the motor ticking away. Takes every chance he gets to go to the cup.
Checking back in for Spartans, CJ Amos and Kurt Sewick. Blaser makes the first. And the second. 55 plays 53. Southern District Spartans continue to hold the lead over the favoured Northside Wizards. Zakarski against Sewick in the post. Goes to his favoured left hand. Dump down to Coombs. He's been a catalyst since he's come off the bench, putting himself in the right place at the right time. Blaser explores. Sewick given space. He won't miss too many of those. Coombs, a defensive rebound. You can feel momentum start to shift a little bit. Coombs against Laffin. Too big. Can't get the finish. Sewick can't get the roll. Blaser. Laffin turns the corner. Blaser wide open. Doesn't get the roll. Zakarski in transition. This is where it can be dangerous. Ooh. Around the back. Oh!
That was gonna, look at his face. He even knows it. That was gonna be
I think Rocco
nasty.
Zakarski just surprised himself a little bit. He couldn't believe how wide open as we see the replay again. Puts it around the back and then goes upstairs and didn't realize CJ Amos was gonna put his body in harm's way. And in some regard, that was a smart foul, because I think if that had gone down, it might have been a very significant moment in this game. 56 plays 55. The Wizards have stranglehold the lead back from Spartans. Aleknovic, he's been a little bit quiet and just on cue gives me an answer. Spartans coach Aleknovic yelling at his troops, it's time to up the ante defensively. Sales against Aleknovic to Coombs. Inside, he's been impactful from the moment he subbed in. Knows how to position himself down low off any penetration. As we see before, Sales finds him, gets on the inside hip of Davidson, and he's just too big, too strong, and tells him about it. He'll shoot the bonus. Easy transition bucket for the Wizards. And quick momentum killing timeout. Aleknovic, Coach Aleknovic wants to talk about it. As we see the Wizards all of a sudden, quick transition. Wodzinski, whack! D-trans.
I think, as you said before, you know, it all starts on the defensive end. The Wizards just decided to push their defense up the court, put a lot of pressure on, get a steal, and then you see the result.
Yeah, absolutely. The Spartans are a little bit slow and a little bit, you know, lackluster on defense, unfortunately. Not bringing the same energy that Coach Aleknovic has been impressed with through most part of this game, and applying pressure, not giving up second chance points, but also, unfortunately for them, they haven't done a really good job of containing the drive or containing the dribble, guarding the ball. And as a result, Coombs has come in and had an impact. And then when they've turned the ball over, Wodzinski punishes them in D-trans. Good athlete. He's been quiet early, but he's starting to get going. And Sales recognised he was sneaking out. 57 plays 61. The Wizards have wrangled this lead back slowly, but when they do, they've done it throughout the season with some noise. Obviously, Zakarski knows how to throw it down, and as we just saw, Wodzinski doing the same thing. Spartans will settle now, and let's see what they come out with. Davidson, Sewick, Blaser, Aleknovic, and Amos on the floor. The Wizards have gone back to a man, so we'll see if the Spartans can create some kind of scoring opportunities inside, as we see Aleknovic try to get his own rebound, and Sales secures it on the second attempt. Sales, pull-up jumper off the back of the iron. Amos against Wodzinski. Finds Blaser. Blaser, who's had his way this afternoon. Davidson. Amos left wide open. He hits the bottom of the net. Have somebody forgotten what his last name was? Because if there's something I know about the Amos family, they know how to hit it from deep. CJ Amos with a big three when his team needs it. Wodzinski looking for Sales. Skip pass. Goes inside to Coombs. Gets a lot of contact down low.
I mean, they had three players at the ball. There's probably no need to reach just there. I think they had him quite contained.
Doesn't hurt them though, but it does hurt them on the foul count, because that is their fourth team foul for the quarter. Coach Nick Roberts checks LeBron Brooks back into the game for Chowdhury. Baseline out of bounds, Wizards. They go to Coombs. Man's on a mission. Started off the bench, but he has surely had an impact. Amos kicks it to Sewick. Aleknovic rejects the on-ball. Wet floor. Amos, hesitation. Goes to the rim. Rocco does enough to change his shot and worry him out of it. Referees, for safety reasons, obviously stop the game because there's a wet spot on the floor.
I mean, the guy, they're working pretty hard out there, so bound to happen. Probably a nice little break for the boys anyway, give them a chance to kind of regroup.
Yeah, almost as good as a timeout, Des, for the Spartans, sorry.
This might be longer than a timeout at this point.
I don't know. I know both Coach Aleknovic and Coach Roberts. They will be on time every time. Surely, Des.
Surely.
They don't take 2-minute timeouts.
No.
As long as I've known Nick Roberts, I'm telling you right now, and as long as I've known Ollie, they are just as good, if not better, at talking than I am. I know for those viewers at home who are listening to me, you probably go, that's debatable, but you know what? Stern, no emotion from Coach Aleknovic.
I mean, still, these teams are just trading bucket for bucket. It was only in the first half that we saw that big deficit. But right now, this is a really close game.
They go to Zakarski inside. He's been there for a long time. Goes right at the body of Sewick and has his way.
Slays it right over the top of his head.
Spartans offense looking a little bit stagnant there. Players not moving. Blaser trying to make something happen. Gets LeBron Brooks in the air and steps through for the nice little floater. No one has been able to shut him down yet. They need to find him more. Out of bounds, off the Wizards. Spartans did enough to Coach Aleknovic going with his two bigs, Byrne and Sewick, on the floor now. We haven't seen this from him yet. Forces a change of the matchup. Blaser, Aleknovic, Sewick. Back to Aleknovic against Sales, into the body. Did enough to force the turnover. LeBron Brooks looking for the lob. Zakarski can't get it. It ends up in Rocco's hands, who finds Wodzinski down low, just waiting for it. A little bit of luck goes a long way in these games. Wizards with the biggest lead of the game, up 5. Blaser, too quick. Out of bounds, CJ Amos. Wasn't expecting it from Blaser. Substitution for the Spartans. They're going with 3 guards and 2 bigs. Honeyman checks in for Aleknovic. This next few minutes before the end of the third could decide who will be playing against the undefeated Brisbane Capitals tomorrow afternoon in the gold medal match, the big dance of this Basketball Queensland under-18 state championships. Sales turns the corner on Honeyman, gets to the rim, doesn't get the roll. Amos, kick ahead, Honeyman wide open, gets downhill at the rim, gets his own rebound. Good poise and patience. Kick out. Blaser, wide open. He needs that to go, and it does. Good patience, good penetration, good pitch from Mason Honeyman to find the hot hand of Brodie Blaser with a big 3 when it counted. Coombs against Byrne. Coombs goes to work. Spartans need to speed it up. This half-court stuff is not going to work against the established defense of the Wizards. They need to play at pace, challenge the D-Trans, as we see CJ Amos try to get a floater to go.
I think also not take that shot too early in the clock and waste that possession.
Wizards playing almost flat on their feet. Everything's walk up. Spartans playing at their tempo. Wodzinski turns the corner. A lot of contact. Coach Aleknovic yelling at his bigs not to switch. Honeyman gets down the lane on Sales. Baseline Spartans. Coach Aleknovic telling him,
don't switch.
Don't switch, big fella. We need you to stay with your assignment. The guards will rotate. He says, yes, coach, I'll go and do it. Stick to the scout. .65 plays 71. Brodie Blaser's been the hot hand for the Spartans. He likes his chances against Wodzinski, and why not? Doesn't get the roll, but he'll get to the charity stripe to shoot 2.
He's really doing everything for this side at the moment, defensively, offensively, taking it straight to the hoop in this one.
And his quick step, his length is quiet, unsuspecting, but his quick step is the thing that kills you. As he makes the first, I need to find him right now. He's been highly effective on the offensive end. And the second. Wizards will try to use the majority of the last. They go inside to Sales in a post-up, which I don't like, against Blaser. Honeyman forces it, doesn't get it to go. Try to get a quick bucket. LeBron Brooks will use the on-ball with Rocco. CJ Amos will be called for the reaching foul, and that will allow LeBron Brooks to go to the foul line and shoot the bonus too. I don't know if I agree with that call. It looked like he picked him pretty clean. We'll see this replay for the referees at home. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I think he picked his pocket, took his loose change and said, Mum, lunch is taken care of today because LeBron Brooks is paying for it. That could have been a critical play going into the end of the third quarter. Because if he'd got that and made a layup or a 3, we have a 1-possession game. Instead, we have LeBron Brooks at the foul line to shoot bonus 2. Misses the first. Makes the second. Spartan CJ Amos lets it fly, and at the end of the third, Northside Wizards leading 72 plays 67. The Spartans have been a little bit quiet, and they've unfortunately just not been patient enough in that third quarter, Des, offensively.
I mean, honestly, I think that Northside have done a really good job to take Spartans out of their game. I think, Spartans are trying to slow the ball down too much, not really working around like they were as we saw them in the first and second quarter there. I think they need to move the ball around a bit quicker, penetrate, kick, really get Rocco and the players around him off balance, off their feet, you know, and I think that's the key for them.
It's almost been a tale of correlating first quarter, you know, first quarter of the first half and first quarter of the second half, Des, where Spartans came out and obviously really pushed the tempo, as you said, and obviously looked to attack the defense and explore the defensive rotations of the Wizards, whilst in that quarter, the Wizards almost flipped the switch and said, hey, we're going to do the same thing to you, Spartans, and find out. And we saw Coach Leknovic getting into his players about ensuring they understand the scout, understand the game plan, not switching big to guard on balls, make sure bigs stay with bigs and guards stay with guards. So, you know, if I'm the Spartans, whilst, you know, you had a 10-point lead at one stage, being down by 5 to this team
tough.
is still tough, but at the same time, it's within reach and you like your chances. Fourth quarter set to be underway here for the second semi-final of the Basketball Queensland Under-18 State Championships here at the Gold Coast. I'm Jordan Mullen, joined by Des Dickerson. Live streams brought to you kindly by the partnering streaming team of Clutch TV, who do a tremendous job, as well as the support of Stream Team, bringing you several games all live and online for those at home. As we see Brodie Blaser come up with the defensive rebound after making a floater. Spartans penetrate, kick, hot hand to Blaser. That's off the back of the iron. Out of bounds, Spartans ball. 69 plays 72. Spartans have just got to chip away. Patience from Brooks. Looks to turn the corner, gets in the paint. A lot of contact. Zakarski not on the floor. They had to let it fly because the shot clock was running. Amos, Leknovic, they're looking to run. This is good from the Spartans. Straight at the body of Sales. Didn't get the finish. Blaser is everywhere. And he's rewarded accordingly.
He really is doing it all. He is gunning for this big dance.
He understands the time and the situation. He also understands, as high performance coach Jamie Petty from Basketball Queensland said earlier, the situation is this: play your heart out and show the state coach that you deserve that Queensland jersey. As we see Blaser hit the front of the iron. I'm going to call it, the last one was on the back, the next one was on the front. The next one is going to be straight through the bottom of the net. Cesarago can't get the roll. And here come the Spartans. The speed is better. Amos wants to dance. Doesn't get it. Siwick, extra pass. Blaser, kick back to Siwick. Amos dribbles it off. Tyson Warren's foot. Offensive rebound, no good for Blaser. The Wizards avoided one there. Spartans, another steal and turnover. Blaser got away with a double dribble. Coach Nick Roberts was calling for it. Siwick finds Leknovic and he gets the roll and the harm. He'll go to the line to tie this thing up. It's 71 plays 72. We see this play, a little bit of luck goes a long way. Loose ball lands in his hands and he just stretches through the compromised defense of the Wizards, and he'll go to the line. to hopefully tie it up for the Spartans at 72 apiece. Nothing but the bottom. We're tired again. Blaser forces the steal. It ends up in Siwick's hands. Blaser at the rim. I like it. The young fella.
Taking it to him. Straight to the line.
Did the work on the defense. Crosses over. Questionable call there, but Blaser put the pressure on the referee, said, hey, I'm going to make you ask the question of Kalen Sales' defense. And in some regard, he didn't move his feet and keep his hands out. And as a result, the young fella has earned himself a trip to the charity stripe for the chance for the Spartans to take the lead. Makes the first. The man's playing his way into a state team. Wizards through Wodzinski. He can knock them down from there. He hasn't done it yet, but that's his first, and that helps. 75 plays 74. Aleknovic steps through, gets his own rebound. Rocco got a piece of it. Wizards out and running.
Beautiful in transition there.
Nice one-hand pass off the bounce from Chowdhury. Found a streaking, an absolutely streaking Tyson Warren, who knows how to finish. Last few days, and obviously for the viewers at home, have been highly competitive 4 days of basketball. Tomorrow we'll have the 5th and final day of our Basketball Queensland Under-18 State Championships. And the title of state champion will be decided. As we see CJ Amos with a big three. He knows how to stroke it. Ties it again at 77 apiece. Wodzinski's just hit one. Can he hit two? No. Blaser, that man again on another rebound. Amos, same spot. Pull-up jumper. Step through on the defense. Foul call on the baseline. Walden did a good job on getting on the offensive glass. Foul will be on Chowdhury. State champion will be decided tomorrow for 2023. Walden off the bench. Didn't get that to go. Cesarago. Crossover on Walden. The floater doesn't go. Amos a rebound over Zakarski. Did a good job of getting inside of him. Aleknovic. Amos. Free ball.
Ooh,
bottom of the net. And Coach Nick Roberts says quickly, we're going to put a stop to that.
You can't expect anything less from Amos there.
Hey, I mean, the kid knows how to shoot it. Kicks it ahead. Aleknovic recognizes, draws the double team. Wide open shooter. Splash.
What is it that Regan says? Clutch players make clutch plays?
Presented by Clutch TV.
Clutch TV.
Nothing but the best. State champions decided tomorrow, Des. Obviously, the girls' grand final is something to write home about. We've got the best in the south versus the best in the north. Logan Thunder versus Mackay Meteorettes. For the viewers at home, if you can't get here, what time is that on, and how can they? No, you don't. Okay. For the viewers at home, we'll get back to you with some details. But obviously, all of our games tomorrow, most of our games, I should say, tomorrow here in Hall 1 are going to be live streamed thanks to the guys at Clutch TV. The girls' grand final, I believe, is at 2 o'clock tomorrow. And then the boys' grand final to follow immediately at 3:30, where state champions will be decided. And can the Brisbane Capitals Gold create history and be one of the very, very few teams to go an entire season undefeated? And who will they play at 3:30? They will meet the winner of this game, the second semi-final here, between the Northside Wizards, who have played a little bit of up and down between them and the Southern District Spartans, of who's going to wrangle this lead. Right now, after CJ Amos has come in and had an impact on the defensive end and the offensive end, it could be Spartans, it could be the Wizards. Wizards fans in the crowd starting the D chant. CJ Amos, he's hit one. Make it two. Find the hot hand. CJ Amos, big threes when it counts. Zakarski wants a response. He gets the friendly roll and he tells his bench about it. How many 7-footers do you see in the country, or do you see in the world that stroke the three? Siwek. Amos uses the on-ball, crosses Wadzinski out. Siwek drives on Rocco, kick out. Walden, three, over the top. Here come the Wizards. Coombs gets the offensive rebound. Wadzinski gets the putback, and it's a 1-point game.
That's where we got to make sure, boxing out, get on the glass.
Wizards recognising the time and score, recognising the moment, understood that Spartans were defensively sleeping. A lot of hands on that one. Referee Jack Koja says it's Wizards ball. It's getting loud here at the Gold Coast Sport and Leisure Centre, one of the best venues in Queensland for not just basketball, all sports, thanks to our great friends Gold Coast City of Gold Coast, who kindly, with the Gold Coast Basketball Association, putting on this great event. Long two. Off the back. He needed to step back another metre. Blaser. Walden. Aleknovic. The floater off one. Can't get it to go. The Wizards will slow it again.
They like to slow the ball down, and
it's a long week. It's a long week, Des. I'm tired already.
It's smart, though. I think it's smart. Work it around, get a good option.
Play to your strengths. Chowdhury. He hasn't been known for shooting that. Blazer streaking. He goes against Chowdhury. Gets all the way to the cup. Telling the state coaches, don't pick me and I'll tell you should. Blazers putting on a show. Amos did a good enough job to reach around. Called for the foul. Wadzinski liked his chances in the post. LeBron Brooks checks in. Sales checks in for the Wizards. Coach Nick Roberts going with his core guys that he's been relying on all year. Late in the fourth quarter, trailing by 3. Brooks. Twist action with the on-ball. Goes to Sales. He's been quiet. He gets that one to go. Smart play. 85 plays 84. Blazer. Kick out. Extra pass. Siwek. Walden. Corner 3 is good.
Great extra. Great ball movement.
Split kick extra. Good dribble penetration. Draw a second defender. Penetrate, kick, find the wide open shooter, and it's back to a 4-point ball game. Zakarski, Siwick guarding him, pokes at it. Just enough to disrupt him. Wizards with 8 seconds on the shot clock for our viewers at home. Zakarski. LeBron has to make something happen. Quick hands there from Aleknovic. Here come the Spartans. Aleknovic. Chowdhury had to make a play, and he did, but he's called for the foul. And Aleknovic will go to the line to shoot 2. Fouls made Des prove the pivotal moment or the pivotal point that allows the Spartans to maintain and build on this lead.
Absolutely, especially down the stretch.
Spartans now can go to the foul line every time there's a foul by the Wizards. Aleknovic. Swish.
And with 2 minutes on the clock, that's still a lot of time and not exactly what you want.
No, and it's very helpful for the Spartans offense if it gets stagnant or if it gets passive. Stay aggressive. Makes the second. It's a 6-point ball game. And just like that, the Wizards are going to have to find something. Wodzinski. CJ Amos. His defense coming up big when it counts. Something he doesn't get enough credit for. It's typically his shooting. Amos on Chowdhury. Chowdhury gets his hands on it. Amos didn't like it, so he throws it off Chowdhury's leg, and they'll have 7 seconds to go. Timeout on the floor. Coach Aleknovic wants to draw something up.
What's he drawing up?
Well, right now, I mean, if I'm Coach Roberts, I can't go a zone off this baseline out of bounds, but it wouldn't be a bad play as we see some of the highlights. Aleknovic finds the wide open CJ Amos, who had hit 2 earlier, and knows how to put him at the bottom of the neck. Brodie Blaser has been outstanding finding Amos there, but also getting downhill or getting in transition. And for the Wizards, they need more of this from Rocco now, or they need buckets quick because they trail by 6. Coombs has been good, as has Wodzinski. But right now, if I'm Coach Aleknovic and Roberts comes out in a zone, which I suspect he will, I'd be running some screen the screener action and trying to find, as a decoy, Aleknovic or Siwick rolling to the rim, whereby you've taken Rocco Zakarski out of the play. But we'll see what Coach Roberts goes into. As I said, I suspect it will be a zone. I may be wrong here, though. And it looks like it. Either way, I would still run some screen the screener action and see if I can get Siwick or Aleknovic rolling to the rim. But I know Amos and Blaser know how to create off the dribble, so I'm happy with either of those 2 options. Blaser. Stop, pop, and didn't get the roll. Brooks, Zakarski needs to go quick. Kick out to Chowdhury. Wodzinski picked his pocket. Siwick.
Foul.
Foul called. It's not a bad one, though, because he's not shooting it. It's not bonus, so they've got fouls to give. It's not a bad one. You've still got time. I think Coach Nick Roberts may only have one more timeout left, if I'm right.
And the Spartans have put themselves in a really good position. If they need to use those fouls, they've got them.
LeBron Brooks gets to the glass. Finds a way. Having won a national championship, he knows how to win. Brodie Blaser. Wizards haven't found an answer for him yet. Amos will use the clock against Wodzinski. Pulls up for the floater. Clock hasn't started, which means there was a timeout call by Coach Nick Roberts. And right now, it's the Spartans' backcourt doing the most damage. CJ Amos and Brodie Blaser. getting hot when it matters. Des.
I mean, Brodie Blaser's been absolutely fire this entire game, though.
That's true, and there hasn't been an answer yet.
No, not an answer yet.
No one has been able to shut him down, and as a result, he's recognised and like good players do, driven, drawn to, and then found his shooters, who Amos has got really hot really quickly, and now he's seen a couple go through the net off wide open looks courtesy of Brodie Blaser, and now he goes and makes that floater in a critical moment. As we see some of the highlights, foul call here. LeBron Brooks did what he had to, got to the rim, try to bring it back to a 4-point game, but Amos did the right thing and finished high, soft touch. Southern District Spartans 53 seconds away from causing an upset against the team that many predicted we'd be facing, the Brisbane Capitals, in the gold medal game tomorrow at 3:30 here live at the Gold Coast Sport and Leisure and on live stream presented by Clutch TV and the Stream team. As we see out of bounds play, they go to Chowdhury. They've got to go and go quickly. LeBron Brooks sees the help coming. Can't get the roll. Aleknovic the defensive rebound. Blaser. Time is the Spartans' friend. Amos. Wodzinski fouls.
To the line.
I don't know if that's a smart play from the Wizards. It's the wrong guy you want to put on the foul line.
I think still probably they didn't need to make that foul at that point.
No, I think if you're smart there, he's got him in a corner and there's a 5-second count coming. You just need to maintain pressure.
I mean, we can even, at this point, send another player to him, trap the ball, make him lose it.
CJ Amos misses a free throw quite unusually. .36 seconds. Fixes it with the second. It's now a 3-possession ball game. Spartans step up. Aleknovic straight up. Referee Jack Kaja says differently, and Sales will go to the line to shoot 2. I think he'll argue that that was the charge circle. Sales needs to make these both. He misses the first. I think he needs to miss the second now and go and get the offensive rebound. 29.5, still a lot of time in basketball, but you need some luck your way. Misses the second. Blaser, that man again.
He's everywhere.
The kid has been everywhere.
Absolutely insane this game. There had to be a pick for an MVP of this game. I know who I'd give it to.
He's playing his way into a state team, for those of you at home, I'm sure. Makes both. Brodie Blaser, icing free throws when it matters. 95 plays 86, 28 seconds to go here in the fourth and final quarter of the second semi-final. Ladies and gentlemen, get that man, Brodie Blaser, whatever drink he needs to keep going for the next 28 seconds. Pickle juice, Gatorades, Powerades, Coke Zeros, Cokes, I don't care, lollies. He is a man on a mission leading this Southern District Spartans team to a potential gold medal matchup against the Brisbane Capitals, who are undefeated, in a game where we thought it was always going to be a Wizards versus Caps final.
Look,
Des.
I'm not going to say we.
Well, you.
Here. No, not me.
You.
Me?
You.
No, I never said it. I said, hang on, we've still got another game to play.
The general punters.
Let's not count out the Spartans.
Hey.
And lucky we didn't. Some of us didn't.
The dark side. The dark side family getting it done when it counts. Backs against the wall. It's about what they bleed. It's about their fibre. It's about their fabric. That's what they're about, the underdog, and they love it. As we see Cesarago make a big three. That was quick, and they needed it. Quick inbounds play. Walden almost loses it. Uh-oh. Oh, foul called.
That's the hardest thing, being in the bonus.
It is, but if I'm the Wizards right now and I'm sending, and it's not a knock on the young man, but if I'm sending Walden to the line, I'm happy with that as opposed to CJ Amos as we see the replay of the quick three. Cesarago, nice blur screen action, gets him wide open, catch and shoot. Walden knocks it down and says, Jordan, you're wrong. And I'm good with that. I'm all about athletes proving coaches wrong. But yes, if I'm the Wizards, as long as it wasn't Blaser and Amos, but Walden, as I said, proved me wrong. Cesarago lets it fly. He's got to go. Almost gets the bounce. Amos the rebound. Foul by Zaskarski against Amos. He'll travel 90 feet to shoot 2 free throws. The Southern District Spartans proving the general punters wrong.
I think, this side is finishing the game the way they started. Strong.
Good work on the defensive glass, not giving up second and third offensive chances. They made an issue of that during the second and third quarter. But to your point, Des, they did absolutely respond and say, hey, we're going to put a stop to this. One shot and one shot only. Take Zaskarski's length out of it. And now we're going to challenge you in D-trans and see if you can get up and down with us. As we see Amos convert both, and it's a 10-point ball game. And I think that will be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. The Southern District Spartans have done enough to earn themselves the hard way and the right way to get into tomorrow's state championship, the grand final, the gold medal match against the undefeated Brisbane Capitals Gold, off the back of a tremendous, and I mean absolutely tremendous performance from Brodie, Blaser and his teammates, taking on the Northside Wizards to defeat them 99-89 in a game for the ages, Des.
Absolutely. It was a tremendous game. I think obviously we see a few Wizards a bit shaken up about that one, but both sides should be really proud of the way that they played tonight. And I think it was a great game, but I'm really looking forward to seeing this grand finals tomorrow, both men's and women's.
Grand finals tomorrow is for our under-18 Division 1 girls at 2 o'clock between the Mackay Meteorettes and the Logan Thunder. It's a tale for the tape, the South champion versus the North champion. We've got some really good talent across both. Obviously, some names to watch for now and also the future, but the boys' grand final to immediately follow at 3:30 tomorrow between the Southern District Spartans with their cross-town or cross-river rival, the old rivalry from the beginning of time, Spartans versus Capitals at 3:30. There
is going to be a lot of heart and a lot of pride on the line in this one.
And for those of you watching at home, there's a bit of a subplot, a little bit of a storyline to that. Obviously, a former Spartans junior in Roman Cialipa, obviously making the decision a year ago to leave Spartans and join the Caps. Will he rain on his former club, his junior club's parade, by taking away the state championship? That's for you at home to decide. And tune in tomorrow at 2 o'clock and 3:30 for the for the girls, and then the boys' grand finals respectively in the Division 1. But thanks to our great friends at Clutch TV and the stream team, you're going to get more basketball than you could poke a stick at tomorrow, with multiple games on Clutch TV, streamed live from here at the Gold Coast Sport and Leisure Centre. across Hall 1, where we've got at least 5 and now 7 games going. It's out of control. If you're not watching here, you better be watching at home, because tomorrow's basketball grand finals are going to be something for the ages. I'm Jordan Mullen, joined by Des Dickerson. It's been my pleasure to bring you tonight's semi-finals. We look forward to you joining us tomorrow. Thanks to Basketball Queensland, our friends at Clutch TV, and obviously the stream team. We'll see you all tomorrow.